How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Did you catch some fish yesterday?
Yes, I did. Mostly dinks, but caught one decent fish and one real pretty looking spotted bass. I mean, just really distinctive markings on it and stuff. It was pretty good. It's got me a fix.
Are you fishing on Ray Bob?
Yeah. I just took my kayak and went out to this submerged road that I go to sometimes, and yeah, it went well. It went fine. It got me fixed. I needed it badly.
The healing power of the fly rod, baby.
Yeah, man. All right, we ready to roll into this? All right, people, this is what I've been telling you about. Here we go. I have Alex Guthrie of Fly Fish Fork on the phone, and we are going to pick his brain today on Lake Fork. Now, I'm going to start by telling you how you can get a hold of this guy. That way, if I forget in all of my excitement at the end, 469-446-8508 and flyfishfork.com. Alex, how's it going over there?
Man, it's going good. I've been out this morning. The sun came out after all that rain yesterday.
Yeah.
I decided I wasn't going to go fishing. I was going to put on my bikini.
Ooh, sweet.
And I've been out. I know, baby.
Hey, send pictures, by the way. Send me pictures so I can interlace some of your great photographs with this interview.
It's going good, man. The lake. I went out yesterday after the lake, after all the rain stopped here out here in East Texas, and it was beautiful. The wind wasn't blowing. It was in the 70s. Golly, it was so fantastic. And I didn't get a bite.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay.
It was the strange thing, we talked a minute ago about last night, me going out. I went out and fished a spot that I know. It's a submerged road here on Ray Roberts. And it was on. And then the switch got flipped in a second. I mean, it was off. I was like, what the heck happened? It had to be some barometric thing or something. Something way above my pay grade, like in God's pay grade, because it ended, man. I was like, okay, I'm going home. It's not dark yet.
Well, that's an evening pattern here. That's a pattern that I always explain to people when they want to fish the evenings on Lake Fork. Now, I can go out, and I have plenty of videos on my on my YouTube channel.
And it's a good channel.
Which is, thank you.
Yeah.
It's at Fly Fish Fork 2023. If your
right.
Audience is interested in looking at it, at Fly Fish Fork 2023.
Oh, they'll be interested.
And that pattern has been really interesting. I've been able to fish up. Like a lot of times this time of year, Shannon, probably like you, I didn't even put in until 5 or 6 o'clock.
Right.
Because I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid that midday
doldrum, man.
Yeah. And torture. Yeah. Anyway, put in late, and then you'll get at some point, and I usually just say it's when the sun hits the treetops. Mm-hmm. You'll get a 45-minute, maybe an hour, just super aggressive feeding style bite, where they're hitting anything that lands in front of them.
That's the way it was.
And then all of a sudden they just stop. And it's like...
They went home. It's like, they're like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, who chased them off?
It was weird.
And then my experience has been that right at dark, and maybe I'm talking about at sunset, and maybe for an hour or two, maybe an hour, I'll get a return to the bite. There will be some topwater, but the fish that I'm getting are bigger fish.
Yeah.
It's like the big fish come in to feed, and then sometimes, we used to talk about how you'd have to fish until midnight to really, now this was conventional fishing, but you'd have to fish till midnight to get to the next phase of the bite, and it could be real good. So there's this, like, in the morning is kind of the reverse of that. So first light, you'll get a short bite. It's not even a real big bite. It might be 20, 30 minutes. It's not even that long of a bite, for even if the sun's not up.
Yeah.
Then we'll get another really good bite at mid-morning, at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Huh.
So it's just kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna go and try that and just see if I can get that clock working on my water. See how that goes.
Yeah, it can work. It can work. In fact, I had some clients out a couple of weeks ago, and they thought I was just lazy, because they called me the night before and said,
well, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't know me that good. And so they said, "What time do you want to get on the water?" And I said, "Oh, 8 o'clock." No, I said 9 o'clock, and he goes, "Huh?" He said, "What about like 6? I thought you guys got up at 6." And I said, "Well, the fish don't bite till 10, so why worry about it?"
Oh, that's great, man.
So anyway, he talked me into getting out there at 6, and we got out there at 6, and we fished and fished and fished, and he finally caught a fish, and I said, "What time is it?" And he says, 10.
Well, you don't have to be so mean about it, but yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
man.
right.
That's a great thing about carp up here and doing the carp thing that I do, man. Like, I've got to have sun to see them, and it's all sight casting, and so 10 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty normal all the time, and I sure appreciate that compared to going after these bass day and night and stuff like that and trying to figure their clock out.
Well, what do they call that? The circadian
rhythm
clock?
Rhythm,
Circadian rhythm, whatever that is.
Yeah.
They got their own.
Yeah. For sure. So today's Friday the 13th. Hope you're feeling lucky. Can you tell me, can you forecast ahead? This weekend's basically in the books, so how about next week? Let's just set the weather aside and just tell me, kind of what you expect next week.
It looks like the weather is going to be super consistent. I looked at my next 10 days. I think there was one day in the middle of next week that they said there might be a chance of a thunderstorm. I don't know how they figured that one out, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be up in the 90s.
I'll take it.
And it's going to get down into the mid 70s at night. But the main story is it's consistent.
Yeah.
And low winds. Our winds all next week, at least here in East Texas, are single digit, except for maybe one day. And so if that all pans out the way that they're predicting it, then we're going to be able to have a really nice, consistent fishing or bite.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll be probably a whole lot the same it is right now, because our water is still up. That's the other thing. It's been a long time since we've had this much time. Our lakes have been full.
Yeah. Tell me now, again, I think I talked to you a few days ago and you said it's up like 2 feet right now, or how much is it up? I don't.
Well, right now, Lake Fork, today it was up 8 inches, which is really...
Yeah. It's almost negligible.
Well, it is for you guys.
Yeah.
They keep this thing. They have all 5 of our gates open.
Really?
They put this thing right at maybe a few inches above
conservation pool,
normal pool. Yeah. And they do that because their dam is an earthen dam. It can only hold so much, I guess. I guess that's why they do that. Yeah. And they're real careful with it. So what happens here is when they have all those gates open, it creates a current in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually watch stuff kind of floating by like it's a river. And that really...
that's an effect right there. Yeah, that's a huge effect,
absolutely.
Man. Yeah.
It has a huge effect on the fish. And now they'll, when they get to where they want it here in a day or two, they'll start closing those gates. And once they've closed those gates, it's game on.
Yeah.
And now I'm catching them with the gates open, but I'm a fly fisherman. I'm better than most.
Yeah, aren't you though? Aren't you though?
Yeah, baby. Yeah,
now,
baby.
let me ask you this, man. You talked about one thing that really intrigued me the other day on your live broadcast, which he does a live broadcast, and they're awesome. Tune into those if you want the heat of the moment from Lake Fork.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. Those people that when they drew down the lake to do the repairs, put those brush piles between the boat houses or boat docks.
So we had, I guess it was 5 years ago now, they had to draw the lake down about 6.5 feet. It was already down a little. It ultimately got down about 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had to do a bunch of repairs on the bottom of the dam on the lake side, on the water side.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to add a bunch of concrete and stuff like that. So the lake's down for several months while they're doing that. And then, of course, you had to wait for it to fill back up, which took a year. And during that time, people did a lot of repairs on their retaining walls and their docks. And they would go around their docks and they would add fish attractants. Like they would cut brush. Around here, they just cut brush. And they take the brush and they maybe big limbs or small trees, and they tie them up to a rope, and they put a brick on the end of them. They drop them off their fishing dock and tie them to the fishing dock. Yeah. And one lady did it with bamboo. She put all this bamboo. Well, you can't get anything through that bamboo, man. a little
too efficient, a little too effective.
And she'll sit down on her dock and she'll say, "Whatever you do, don't throw your lure under my dock. It's got bamboo." Yes, ma'am. And so what I do in the summertime is I look, because it gets hot and there's a lot of sunlight, and the fish want to go deeper and they want to find shade.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I do is I look at these, and I've done this for many years, is I'll look at the boathouse, and I'll see if I see telltale signs of people using their, fishing on their docks. Mm-hmm. And so do they have lights on the outside? Do they have brush piles tied to them? Everybody's got those lights now that sit on the bottom, that are the green lights that sit on the bottom at nighttime and illuminate everything from under the water, which are, golly, man, those things are so fun to fish. And I'll take a little, you can use, I call it a dock knocker. It's a little fly that I tie. It's a little bead head fly that has a marabou and a couple of other little things. It makes it look like just a little fish. Mm-hmm. But the point of it is that it hits, if you can get it under the dock, and it just kind of darts down, looks like a little fish darting down, and whatever's down there will grab it. It could be bass, catfish, whatever. So that becomes a target zone for me this time of year, is around those boat houses, and looking for particular boat houses that I know, a lot of people now have fish feeders on their boat houses. Yeah. So they can catch catfish. Yeah.
Well, that's cool strategy, and I think that's great that they did that for you.
No, I really appreciated it, man. I mean, I couldn't catch any fish. There was hardly any water in the lake, so I'm just driving around going, "Oh, look what he did! Look what he did!"
Yeah, that's funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, and then we'll do a lot of. We've been up 3 years now, right?
Yeah,
and roughly. And I talk about this on my video. Our normal lake level this time of year is going to go from spring full to maybe 2 to 3 feet low in the fall, just depending on how much rain we get. And we have not had any vegetation growing in this lake for a long time, except for just a few places. Well, this year it's everywhere. We've got lily pads. We have we have a ton of water hyacinth. I think they're going to end up spraying a bunch of that because it's just getting all over the lake. Water hyacinth is a floating weed, and it's beautiful in a fish tank or a pond. But boy, it grows so fast, it's incredible. And it's never tied to anything. Its root system just literally floats in the water. If you throw a lure in it and you try to pull your lure through it, you'll pull a wad of that stuff out, floating on the water. So, but my point is we got all of this stuff now that are giving the fish a lot of cover and making it really a lot of fun to go out. And I like right in the middle of the hottest part of the day to go out and hit those lily pads.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw you talking about that. That sounded great.
Yeah. It's a gas.
Sounded really cool. I like that fly too, with that kind of like a retractable weed guard on it that you drop on top of the.
That weed guard, there's a guy that tried to teach me how to do a weed guard, and he's a lot better at it than I am. So I took his idea and I went, well, I'm never going to get the way he's doing it, so I'll just try this way, and it actually works pretty good.
It looks very scientific. It looks like it's like measured out and like prefabricated on a lathe or something, Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, right. It
looks great, man.
My weed guard lathe. It's measured out when I put it on the bug.
Yeah, exactly. With two fingers,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like a shot. Anyway, tell me more about the other lakes you do, just in case. I don't know if you're going to be doing those, but I want to let people know about those.
We have some really good brim lakes out here. They have big brim beds. I love fishing for brim in the summertime. It's so much fun, lots of action. And when you get those big brim on, I use a 4 or 5 weight. A lot of people go down to a 2 weight.
Yeah.
But they're easy to catch. You can see them get the bait.
Oh, that's cool.
And they fight.
Yeah.
And they're smart. Shannon. After you catch 2 or 3 of them, you got to move on to the next brim bed because the rest of them will quit biting.
I thought it was just changing colors or something like that, but I have experienced that where you just fish them out basically real quick, and then it's like slide on down the line to the next area or whatever and do it again. But those guys smarten up. Yeah.
Well, and this year on Lake, now that would be Lake Holbrook, which is not far from Lake Fort, 5-minute drive, and it's a little community lake. It's a really nice little lake. They have great brim beds, and they have small bass, and we'll fish that. And they have a lot of grass, I'm told, this year. I haven't been there this spring. Lake Hawkins, which is about a 20-minute drive east of Mineola on Highway 80. It's a clear water lake, gin clear water, and it has grass growing 20 feet deep in it. And so it's hard to fish.
Yeah.
The fish can see you. There's a lot of stuff in your way, but it has big brim in it, and it has a clear area between the grass and the shoreline of maybe 20 or 30 feet.
I've seen that kind of set up down on Bastrop, and it's a sweet spot, man. Yeah. That's just an ambush.
If you can get in there, yeah. If you can get in, if you can cast over that grass and hit that clear water, you'll catch bass and brim.
Yep, all day long.
And so that's a great little lake. And then Bob Sandlin is, of course, a much bigger lake. It's northeast of me, about 45 minutes or so. East of Winsboro, about 10 miles. And it's a beautiful lake, highly developed, and it has retaining walls all around the developed area. And those retaining walls have footings at the bottom that make a little shelf in the under the water. And I go fish that little shelf with little clousers and little dock knockers, and
they come out. They come out from under that shelf and eat.
Yeah,
that's cool.
My clients love it. I can take people out there and we can catch 10, 15 fish, each. Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun.
No, that's really cool, man. You got so much, you're not in far east, you're in near East Texas, and man, you're not, what, an hour? How far is it from like Dallas to
we're about, I have a client that lives in uptown and near downtown Dallas. It takes him an hour and a half.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a whole other world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. It is. Yeah. So we're not far. We're just east of the Metroplex, about 75 miles. Yeah. And we're all major highways, but we're in between the major highways. I think that's why this lake stays as good as it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably right. Well, people anticipate crowds on the weekends and those kind of problems and things. So that pushes some people away. And it's got stumps. Some of these lakes got stumps in them.
This one's got stumps, brother. This one's got stumps. Yeah. Is it evidenced by the side of my boat?
Better you than me, man.
Hey, I have to keep an extra prop with me. That's how bad it gets. In fact, I took my prop into my prop guy, and he said, "Don't bring it back. I fixed it too much."
All right, you got to donate to me. I'll hang it in my bar. I've got props all over my bar.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. So our crowds aren't really bad out here, especially when it gets really hot. Mm-hmm. It's there's a lot more lakes now that people can go to. A lot of them hang out in those big lakes right around town. Yeah. And so this Lake Fork has always been primarily a fishing lake. It still is. Yeah. Because of the stumps and the trees and all that stuff, it's not someplace people think of to come out and just do a bunch of water skiing. It's a real limited area that's good for that. So it is a lot of fun. It's a beautiful lake. We've got big old alligators. You'll come out here and fish with me, and you'll see alligators and wild
Or not. I don't have to show me gators.
Oh, poor baby. Well, gators are, we have a big population of gators now, but that is within the last 10 years that we've got that. Yeah. It's just exploded. It's incredible.
Yeah, they're all over the place. People just don't know.
Yeah, people come out here and they go, "What do you mean there's gators out here in Texas?" And I go, "Why would you not think there's gators in Texas?" Anyway, it's a lot of fun to come out here. There's a lot of good hotels, restaurants. It's a fun place to come. East Texas is really beautiful. It's like the hill country with pine trees.
No, it's really it's a lot wetter out there.
A lot wetter. Yeah. There's actually water in our lakes this year.
Yeah. I can't believe that any of those lakes around Austin get any kind of love at all, but they're 38 feet low and stuff like that. That's crazy, man.
It's sad. It's so sad, and I spent a lot of my childhood going down to Lake Travis, and I love that lake. It was just so beautiful, and I hate to see them in the condition they are, but they'll come back. They may have come back the last couple of days. They're flooding in San Antonio, so who knows? Maybe Canyon got some water back in it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you talking to me today, and I hope we can continue this conversation.
I would love to, my friend. I appreciate you including me and introducing me to your audience. We got to keep doing this. And look, it's about time for us to go for those hybrid stripers out on Lake Tawakoni.
Oh, that was so fun.
We got to do that, brother. Yeah, it's about time to get that fly rod to work.
Yep. Bend it over.
Bend it, baby. Yeah. What is it that you call those? What do you call those hybrid stripers?
H-bombs.
You had a name. Huh?
H-bombs.
H-bombs. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing. Yeah.
All right, man. Give me your props.
Hey, brother, have a good weekend.
Give me your props. Give me your phone number again. All that good stuff.
469-446-8508. Leave a message if I don't pick it up. Alex at flyfishfork.com.
That ought to do, man. And then on YouTube.
And then YouTube is Flyfish or at Flyfish Fork 2023.
Cool, baby.
And if you just look up fly fishing on Lake Fork or fly fishing East Texas, I am the only fly fishing guide in East Texas.
Man, I'm moving.
Yeah, right. Well, trust me, we'll be bored together.
Yeah,
bro.
okay, man. All right, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for inviting me.
All
Have
right,
a great weekend.
talk to you later.
All right,
Bye.